Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. Thanks for joining us again. Big video today, super stoked for this one again. In 2022, we haven't had a lot of action on the build. Still waiting on some stroker motor parts, but we do have stuff for our 727 tranny, which is what this video is going to be all about. We're going to be heading up to Pete's place. We're going to take this thing apart. We're installing a manual valve body and a trans brake so we can get some really good launches next drag race season. And then we'll also have the stroker motor by then, so really looking forward to that race season coming up. If you saw any of our race videos over the last 2 years or so, every once in a while I'd have a problem shifting the car. I would shift the trans, but the trans would actually hold RPM all the way up to the limiter. I'd try shifting at about 6,200 RPM, and sometimes the trans wouldn't let me shift. It would automatically just go right up, bang the limiter, and then shift. So it was making for pretty inconsistent times as far as shifting. I don't think we were losing a lot because of it, but it's something I really wanted to nail down, because also that 6,700 RPM, banging that limiter, that's ultimately why we had the engine starvation oil issue that ultimately ruined our small block there. But you know, on to bigger and better things. So that was one of the main reasons we wanted to go to a manual valve body. And then the trans brake is something we definitely wanted to do. That was the reason I put the Dana rear end in the car and the cage, stiffen the chassis, make that rear end bulletproof. All that stuff's on the channel. If you haven't seen it, or if you're new to the channel, just go back, you'll find those videos. So really looking forward to that manual valve body and trans brake, just to really improve ETs and that 60-foot time. So really stoked for that. May or may not keep the stock shifter. We're gonna definitely run it next year, but that might be something to upgrade as well in the future. Drop a comment, let me know if you guys think I should do it. So here we are in the car, and there's that stock shifter. That's that one that I did that shifter modification in, so you can't hit neutral. And we already got a button on the wheel for the trans brake, because we did install a two-step as well. We did that last year, I think last year. That was also in anticipation of the trans brake going in. So the car is totally set up for it, having the button there, the two-step's already in it. One shifter mod, but yeah, the stock shifter looks great, so it shall probably stay. The interior is nice and stock appearing, so we'll see. I'll give you guys a little breakdown of this. This will actually be the second rebuild that I've personally been involved with this tranny. It actually came in the car. The first rebuild done would have been the previous owner of the car, and he did install a shift kit in it, and when Pete went through it originally, he thought the shift kit was all right, so we just left it. But there are some other interesting things inside this trans already, so I'll give you a breakdown of what's in there now before we head up to Pete's place and start installing new stuff. Okay, so here is our 727 tranny out of our 68 Dark drag car, street car. You all know the deal on that guy. So what happened is, originally when I needed this thing rebuilt about 2 years ago, it's when I met Pete, is I was having a problem with the 2-3 shift. He went inside this thing, found all kinds of problems. The bands were destroyed, the drum was actually ruined, so we had to replace that. So that's when we started doing some upgrades. So we went to an aluminum drum. It's a steel jacketed aluminum drum. That was one of the main things he recommended. We had to get a new drum anyway, so the price point, it was like, well, let's just do a nice upgrade there. He put a bolt-in sprag in the back, which is a safety thing. Those things explode, take guys' legs out, so he was like, doing this regardless, you have to do this. So that was a good upgrade. It does have Mopar Performance extra volume pan down low. I believe it just adds an extra quart or so. I might actually upgrade that guy and go to a real deep one, an aluminum one, and then maybe install a bung for a temperature sensor. Always a good idea. And then I upgraded the fittings, and then I ran to -6. I removed the hard lines that were originally in the car, went to -6, and then routed them away from the headers, because those original stock lines were like right against the headers, so not ideal for cooling. That was pretty much it. Oh, you can see that. I probably should take that off now, actually. That is part of that BPE kick down pressure regulator cable system. If you guys haven't seen that, I showed it off in a video. Really nice piece. Cleans up that linkage problem that is a classic Mopar thing. So if you are still shifting your car, if it's a regular valve body, that's a really nice upgrade. So something to look at there. But that's pretty much it for this trans. Once we got up to Pete's place, so new valve body going in, trans brake going in. He did drill and tap it previously for the trans brake, so should be a pretty clean install. All right, let's load her up, head out there. Just got up to Pete's place. He opens the door, and there's a Ram TRX right there. Oh man, I've never even seen one. So awesome. Oh man, dude. Nice canopy too. Putting my white 2015 to shame. Oh my god. Dude, that is so killer. 1320 is pretty nice too, but man, look at that ram. Okay, up at Pete's place now. We're just starting tearing into this trans. Just on the phone real quick here, so I thought I'd take a minute, let you guys know what's going on. But we got that thing tore open, so let's take a look what's going on inside. Oh yeah. Out with the old.
Good.
Right on, so here you can see that is that aluminum drum I was talking about earlier with the steel jacket. Pete, last time he was in it, also added a better ratio band lever, is that correct?
Correct.
And then that bolt and sprags in the back.
Billet servo spring retainer.
Oh, excellent. And then there's our old valve body there, and we're going with this new unit here, and this is from ProTrans, is that right?
ProTrans, yeah.
Manual valve body, and there you can see the solenoid for the brake itself.
It's his latest design.
Looks killer. Nice. Really nice unit. You can see this thing is just quality made. Like Pete's saying, new design. So pretty stoked to try this out. This thing's gonna shift killer. So I was talking about earlier, drill and tap, that's into the back for the electrical connection for the servo on the brake itself. So when that is engaged on that button I was showing you guys on the wheel, it locks the transmission in between first and reverse, and then when you disengage, servo dumps and full power to the rear. So there is the new valve body installed. It's just in there loose right now, but there you see that electrical connection that goes out to the back there. So that's what will plumb right into that switch on the steering wheel, but that thing's looking pretty good in there. So fresh filter going on there. Pete actually resurfaced the mounting area underneath the valve body before he did the install. So it's just pretty much all done. Real clean install, real simple. Hands pretty much just got to go on now. She'll be good to go. So that's a wrap on that. Pan's back on. She's all back together. Pete, you just checking, what are you checking right now?
Checking you into the back of the truck.
Sweet, she done. Right on. Okay, just like that, trans is done. It's ready to go back in the car. One thing that we still need to address though is the converter. So last year, race season, we were foot braking the car, and we were foot braking up to about 4,500 RPM. Now, if everything was the same engine trans, but now that we've added a trans brake on the button, it probably would have gone to the button on like 5,000. We probably would have had about a 5,000 stall on the trans brake. It brings that stall speed up higher because there's no load. And now doing the stroker motor, we're going to be making significantly more torque, more power. That's also going to push the stall higher. So we're going to have to go into that converter and rework it, probably pull about 1,000 RPM out to get the new launches around 42 to 45 on the trans brake. So that's going to be really good for race season. This is probably like one of the biggest upgrades is doing this, and it's going to be really exciting. We're going to get some wheels in the air next race season. Really stoked. Glad to get this guy done. Just got to wait for that stuff for that stroker motor, but it is coming. More videos coming too. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you guys real soon.